So, we are going to discuss a very serious topic, but I've tried to make it a bit funny. तो ज़रा आपका सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर मोड ऑन कर दीजिएगा. सीरियस टॉपिक को हम थोड़ा हंसी मजाक के साथ डिस्कस करेंगे, और अगर आपको किसी चीज़ को देख के हंसी आए तो खुल के हंसिएगा. Successful planning and execution does not have to be so challenging and struggleful. We must have seen this Super 30 movie. आनंद कुमार को बहुत struggles हुए थे ये अचीव करने के लिए उनकी लाइफ में. But a hospital planning and design and execution doesn't have to be that struggleful. And today we are going to discuss few of the aspects which makes this very easy and smooth. We usually think that new hospital planning and design and the execution is all about technicalities. But through our many years of experience, what we've observed is that the more important thing is the intent, attitude, and strategy, which helps us in a smoother execution of planning, designing of a new hospital project. So we'll just first talk about the major challenges which usually we face when, and all the healthcare owners also face when they are just going out there and they are planning a new hospital. So one of the challenges is lack of clear vision. So doctors, they think that we want to make a hospital, but they don't know kaisa hospital banana hai, kahan banana hai, what specialties are to be included. So the solution to that is that we have to reverse engineer our desired goals. So we have to think that, okay, how much revenue we are going to generate, what is going to be the bottom line, what specialties we are going to offer, for what types of patients we are doing this hospital. The another challenge is lack of funding. So we can always explore different models of funding, ownership, partnership, equity, and debt. Lack of resources, hiring right team of consultants and vendors. So this happens when we go out there and try to purchase the land, and then we come to know that that land is not that useful to us, or maybe the land has already some different kinds of licenses or permissions, which is not going to be helpful to us. So for that, we can always hire a good lawyer, check for the clear chain of ownership, nature of land, zone of land, types of permissions you can get, types of NOC you will need, what FSI you will get, how much building height you are going to get. So it's very important to do this due diligence before you go out there and buy a land. So many times when we go out there and we see the land, we just assume कि ये जो पूरा land है, उस पे पूरा का पूरा land पे हम construction कर सकते हैं, and we get very happy, just like Akshay Kumar in this picture. But after leaving margins, 50% parking, following regulatory compliances, well, and this is the grim reality for today's healthcare owners. Another challenge is not doing proper due diligence. So many times when we purchase the land or we are trying to finalize the land, we get a lot of utilities going through the land, just like the shown in this picture, OHGC pipe, pani pipe, high tension wires going on. So before buying a land, always make sure we are doing a proper due diligence, and we are making, because there is substantial margin we have to leave if these utilities are found in our land. Also, there are a lot of old wells which come up when we dig, and then we have to leave margins for those also. So make sure you are doing due diligence, and the solution is hire a Mediarch or an appropriate consultant to conduct the feasibility study and develop an area statement even before you buy the land. So this is for the people who try to buy the spaces in the commercial complexes, and when the property sellers are not flexible enough to provide all the utilities or the facilities which are demanded by the hospital, which are required by the hospital. And the solution to that is talk to your Mediarch, what spaces and facilities you need, and negotiate in advance with all your property seller, take everything in writing, and only then give the token amount. We'll just quickly go through some do's and don'ts for smoother execution of new hospital projects. When there are too many stakeholders or partners, first discuss everything amongst yourselves, decide everything, and just make sure that there's only one point of contact from your end who's going to deal with the consultant and the vendors. This will help you in a very smooth execution. This is self-explanatory, so I'm not going to comment on it. When consultants start, blame game and email baji. See, this happens when you hire experts, but they are strangers, they are not a team. So what happens is every expert brings their ego and puts it on the table. And at the end of the day, the project gets damaged. There's a lot of emailing and a lot of blame game because there is no cohesiveness between these experts. The solution to that is hire a team of experts. The team which is already working on multiple projects, which understands each other's requirements and which functions like a team, so that every single morning you don't have to wake up and take follow-ups with your experts and consultants. Finalize and onboard your consultants at the right stage. Always ask your consultant about what methodology they are going to follow. And usually when you ask them, this is the kind of response you get. This is for the reference. This is an effective methodology if you're planning a hospital or if you're going for the execution. First, there comes the client brief, then comes the site visit, then comes the program structure. So a doctor has given a client brief, and then you add all the utilities, all the norms, all the compliances into it. Then comes the space planning. Then comes the 3D modeling and walkthrough. Then comes the 3D rendering, so you know what kind of aesthetics you are going to get, what kind of interior you are going to get. Then comes the material selection. Then comes your reflected ceiling plan. And only then we start working on the working drawings and the execution starts. So you already know what kind of design you're going to get, what kind of aesthetics you're going to get. And so there is no cost in changing the infrastructure afterwards. Whether it's a small project or a big project, always hire a PMC, a good PMC. Refrain from design changes when execution starts. I'm going to take some time on this because this is the most common found reason why the projects get delayed. And after this presentation, if this happens, समझ नहीं आया लेकिन सुन के अच्छा लगा, you can always hire the right team of experts, consultants, trust them, respect them, take them as your partners, keep warm and friendly attitude towards your vendors, and remember, we are all humans, no one is perfect. So empathy is the secret recipe to successful execution. Thank you so much.